Hey homeschool friends, welcome to the video. This is going to be a fun video for a couple of different reasons. One, I'm going to be talking about our summer school plans, which I am doing differently this year and I have very high hopes for. Two, I just got all my Sonlight Summer Readers in the mail and I'm going to show them to you. And three, this is a collaboration video. So I am collaborating with Heather from the Townsend House. She is such an amazing resource for homeschool advice. I love her channel. I watch all of her content. She is also a Sonlight mama, but she has like 11 years of experience with Sonlight. She also has a blog and a Facebook group, and her heart is just really for helping out other homeschoolers, especially like first-time homeschoolers. So I highly recommend you check out her channel and definitely go check out her video on her summer school plans as well, because that is the topic we are collaborating on today. So stay tuned for me to talk about all our summer school plans as well as our summer readers. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to the channel if you are new here, or welcome back if you have been coming for a while. If you are from Heather's channel, please comment below and say hi. I have 4 kids. I have an 8-year-old, 6-year-old, and twin 4-year-olds that I homeschool. So you can expect that kind of content on this channel. But like I was saying, I'm going to talk a bit more about our summer school. So I'm notoriously bad at summer school, you guys. I always have like big plans, but low energy, like low follow through. And I've realized that I just need more of a rest during this time because for us, we tend to take about 6 weeks off. So not the full summer. We tend to end around the beginning of June and we start around mid-July. And I wouldn't call us like year-round homeschoolers because of that break, but I tend to start so early because I like to give us the flexibility of being able to have a lot of like sick days or like mental health days if I need a break. So things like that make it so that we start early and we only have about like a 6-week break. But 6 weeks is still significant, and that is definitely a time for the kids to kind of backslide on things. And since I have such young kids, like I said, I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, and those are the two I'm talking about today for the most part, but they are learning some really core basic foundational skills like addition and subtraction as well as learning to read. And I really feel like those skills will slide if I do nothing, which they have. They tend to slide a bit over Christmas and last summer when I wasn't as organized. So my plans for this summer are kind of twofold. 1, academics, and 2, everything else. So let's hop into the academics part. And so my plan is to really only focus on 2 things, math and reading. And so I've been thinking about this for a little bit as to exactly how I wanted to do that. I wasn't sure if I was going to try and pull some lessons throughout the summer, especially when it comes to math, but I decided no, I'm not going to do that because I feel like that will put a little too much strain on myself and the kids. It's just a little too much like school, and I want summer to be more like summer learning, not summer school. I don't know if that makes any sense to any of you, but that is my plan. And so what I decided to do is I just picked up, I haven't gotten it in the mail yet, but I just rebought this program. So it's the Right Start Math Games. And Right Start was literally the first math program I chose for my son. It didn't quite fit him and we moved on from there. I actually have a big kindergarten math review on my channel here, but I loved the games and I decided that that will be a fun way to practice our math facts. We do have a few board games. We have Sum Swamp and we have Race to Planet X, and I'll link both of those below because those are both good math games when it comes to addition and subtraction, which is very much still where my kids are. Like my son is just now starting to learn some multiplication, but that's really not the facts we need to solidify this summer. So I picked up the Right Start Math Games, and I think that will help us practice and play, if you will. So the other main academics for this summer for us is reading. So for those of you who follow my channel, you know that my son just started independently reading, which I'm so excited for. He's 8.5. It's been quite the journey, but he is still loving to read. He's so proud of himself. And so we are going to continue to read over the summer. And so my plan for him is to read as many Sonlight Readers from the level 2 program as we can. I'll probably just kind of go with his level, and so if for instance it's getting a little too hard, we'll kind of push the level 2 readers into the school year and push the level 3 readers a little bit down the road, if that makes sense. I'm not like tied to the schedule because I did decide to do the Sonlight Language Arts level 3 for him for next year, and it has level 3 readers, but I'm perfectly happy to bring in level 2s at the beginning if we need to. But my plan is to have him read that stack of readers, and he really likes them. They're funny. They're more funny than like the Abeka readers, which we have done for grade 1. So that's the plan, is we're just going to get some reading in every day, and the same for my daughter. So she's nowhere near independent, but she is working on some skills. And so my plan for her readers wise is to go back through the K5 Abeka readers, as well as work our way through the Good and the Beautiful box C and D and some of the Sonlight readers. She isn't really liking the I Can Read It books from Sonlight, but I feel like she would love the Dr. Seuss ones like The Cat in the Hat and One Fish, Two Fish. Those ones are part of Sonlight's level 1 readers. And so we have that group of readers for her to read. So my plan is I'm going to give us a little bit of structure every day. Like, we're going to wake up and we're going to have breakfast. I do want to keep reading our Bible reader throughout the summer. We didn't finish it, the one that my big kids were working throughout the year. I'll put a picture here. I really liked it. So I'm thinking we could just do it over breakfast and then transition into a time of them reading aloud and doing like a math game. And we can kind of pick what that is so that my daughter can be brought into that, because she likes math facts. So they're fairly close on their math. He definitely knows more math facts than she does, but she likes it more than he does. So I think it would work out. So I want that to be like our foundation routine for summer. And then it's not something I have to bring them back to, because I feel like that's a lot of the hard thing about summer school is it's like, oh, come over here. We're going to read really quick in between you playing in the sprinklers. Like, that just doesn't happen. And so I thought if I could do it at the beginning of the day, we could keep those skills rolling enough to not make the slides so bad when we start back up in July. That's my plan. So that's kind of the academics, but I do have some other things on the other side for summer school, and that is science experiments. We didn't finish up all of our Sonlight Science A experiments, so we have a number of those. The kids like them. We have art, so we can go back through some of the artistic pursuits techniques, because they really liked using some of those watercolor crayons and things like that. So we have those two things, as well as handicrafts, and so my kids really enjoyed the whittling as well as the finger knitting, and they really want to learn how to watercolor. So I'm thinking about that for next year. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do for collecting resources, but I will share that when I share all of our curriculum, which I have curriculum week coming up. I think it's the first week in June. So subscribe to the channel if you're interested in kind of what we're using there, because that's going to be a whole week of next year's curriculum, which I'm excited to share. But anyway, those are some extra activities they can pull from that I can have organized for them. But other than that, we're going to use the summer for extracurriculars. I haven't done swim lessons with my kids yet, only because the twins were so young and it was just crazy. So we're going to do some swim lessons, and we're also going to get my daughter into dance. She really wants to dance. She tried soccer. She didn't like it. My son likes soccer, so we're going to continue with him doing soccer, but she wants to try dance. So I thought these 6 weeks are a good time to kind of get that started, get it into our routine, see if it's something we want to stick. But otherwise, we're going to try and camp as much as possible. My kids love camping. My husband loves camping. I'm really excited because the twins are a little bit older, so it's not so hard to take like 2-year-olds camping. They're 4.5-year-olds, so I think they will really like camping. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to keep going with read alouds. And so we're going to start our Harry Potter Illustrated number 3. We're all very excited about, but we also have a number of read alouds we'll bring into the summer, kind of our nightly read alouds, the ones that are not associated with school, the ones that my kids get to freely pick what we read. And so that's really the plan for homeschool, is a little bit of academics with a little bit of routine in the morning, plus a lot of other options, like fun enrichment type options, or just play outside, play with friends. Additionally, we like to have cousin days. My sister lives like 30 minutes from us. She also homeschools her kids. The kids are similar in ages, so once a week we tend to get together, so we will not miss that. That is fantastic. We love it every year. So those are the things we tend to do during the summer, our summer learning, if you will. And so the next thing I want to show you is all the books I got from Sonlight. I love their summer reader selection, mainly because I know that they have pre-read the books, and I know I can trust the content. And it's not like they are promising like only Christian literature. I don't believe that's it. I believe they just look for good moral lessons and character growth and things that are just very much Sonlight books. I don't feel like Sonlight as a whole tries to be like lily white, if you will, but I do know they do screen out some things where it's just like that's unnecessary in a book, that's unnecessary at this age. These ones are more wholesome, not like perfect wholesome, but more wholesome. And so I love that because I know I don't have the time to read all these books. And I picked up a number of books, and everything I have here, my kids are not able to read yet. Like I said, my son just took off with independent reading, but I like having books on hand. One, we can read them out loud. We don't have to have them be just readers for the kids. They're good read aloud options, but it gives us options later down the road for certain books. And a lot of these books are like first in the series. And so if they like them, then we can get more of these books. So it just helps me pick books. So enough of that. Let me show you the books. I think there's like 20 of them or something like that. I went a little bit crazy because I bought both the elementary and the middle school books. I didn't buy the high school books. I almost did, but then I told myself I was being silly. I only bought those two because I feel like we could still read aloud the middle school books. So let me get started. So I picked up this book. It's called Max Einstein, The Genius Experiment by James Patterson and Chris Grabenstein. So this book looked really cute. I think it was part of the elementary girls package. I probably won't explain all of these books because there's just too many and this video would get way too long. There's this book. It's called Bayberry Island, an adventure about friendship and the journey home. And it says it's a sequel to Brambleheart. But this one, my son is probably pretty close to reading. It was like last year's elementary boys book. And then this one, Escape from Baxter's Barn. And this says fans of Charlotte Webb will enjoy this. So we're fans of Charlotte's Web. So I got that. And I got this for my daughter. She saw it and she's like, I have to have that. And it's just very much her. So it's the Curiosity Cat Spy Club. So it's two girls and a boy in these books, but it feels kind of girly. And it's a spy club, so it's about a mystery. And my daughter loves mysteries. And here's another one that's like a mystery. It's the Lottie Lipton Adventure, The Catacombs of Chaos. And these ones are really small. And I feel like she'll get to these. So I probably won't read this one aloud. I'll probably wait for her to pick this up. And it is part of a series as well. And so she can just get into that if she is interested. Next books I have is this one. My son's really excited about this. It's called Raleigh Jefferson's Awesome Friendly Adventure. And it just looked really fun. It has lots of cool pictures, almost comic book style, but it's definitely not a graphic novel or anything. It just has those sorts of pictures, which I think he will really enjoy. And then I got this one, which I think this was more of a middle school one, and it's called Snared, Escape to the Above by Adam J. Epstein. And this one sounded really cool. It was almost like a science fiction where they were living underground and then they come up for adventures or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But I liked that premise that you can't live on the world, so they live under the world. I liked that. And then this one's called Nerds, the National Espionage Rescue and Defense Society. This has to do with a bunch of kids that are nerds that are at school and they're solving some sort of mystery or helping out with something. I don't know. It looked cute. And then this one's called 1/3 Nerd. And this one's a pretty small one. It says 5th grade is not for amateurs. So that's good for a little bit older elementary school. This one my daughter had to have. This one's called Tuesdays at the Castle by Jessica Day George. It has to do with this girl or this castle that like creates new rooms or new wings every Tuesday, and this girl lives there with her parents and then they disappear and she has to like solve something. I don't know. It looked really cute and my daughter saw the cover and loved it. Okay, and then we got this one, Once Upon a Tim instead of a Time. And this is another elementary boy reader, so there's pictures. I think he will be close to reading this one, but it looked really cute. It has to do with like medieval times and castles and things like that. Then this one's called Mac the Kid Spy, Mac Undercover, and it has to do with like the Queen of England, so I think my son will like that. And then I think everything I have left is more of the middle school books, so these ones we could potentially read aloud. And so I got this one, which is part of a series. It's called Magic Most Wanted by Tyler Whitesides. I think this is the author of The Wishmakers. Yeah, which is another book that I've been interested in picking up for the kids. So there's that book. There's this one, which is we are definitely not quite ready for, but it's the Fairy Tale Reform School, which I've heard good things about these books. And this first one's called Flunked. And so I know my daughter would love this when she gets to it. I just don't know if we're quite ready to read that aloud, but I got it anyway. The last stack, you can see I got a lot of books. I get carried away with books. But this one is called The Wizards of Once, Twice Magic, and it's the first of 3. And it sounds like just a really cute fantasy middle grade book. And so I think these last ones are last year's 2021 middle school books. So All the Grays on Green Street. And this says Shouting at the Rain. And this one is Charlie Thorns and the Last Equation. That looks cute. And this one is called City Spies. All right, and then these ones, it's another James Patterson, so Ollie Cross. I think these are some of the boy ones, yeah. And this one is a pretty cover. It says Here in the Real World. And then this one, it's called Squint. I just want to dive into all of these books, and honestly I might pick up some myself to see if they are good and fun, but we definitely have some good options for read alouds for this summer and for next year, because I will be posting a video that talks about our plans for our extra read alouds, the ones we read at night, the ones that aren't part of our HBL or our Sonlight core for the year. So I love books. I couldn't help myself, and I hope you enjoyed seeing some of those, and maybe I will try and link them down below just so that you can get to them, because I know I was a little quick there at the end. So anyway, that is what I have for this video. What are your plans for the summer? Do you have plans for the summer? I hope you liked seeing some of our summer reader options, and otherwise please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to. And I will see you in the next homeschool video. Okay guys, take care.